Here's a practical example of how ZeroDrift Untraceable works. In one of my posts, someone asked for an example. So I asked them to send me a post that hadn't passed the test, and then I'd run it through ZeroDrift and show the results. So here it goes. This is the original text. And as you can see, it's quite comprehensive. We'll keep scrolling through. I've extended it so if you want to read it, you can actually see what the original content was. Now remember, this text did not pass the test. And so we're going to scroll through, and it seems like general text. It comes up with the moreovers and a few other AI-isms that you can pick if you look into it with slightly more depth. So now it suggests several styles. So it does this automatically after you've pasted the text. First there's semantic author. Then there's straight empathy, PR classic, sharp truths, and zig hustle, which is a more sales-based option. Then it suggests a default. So I say, do the default. Then it writes the content. In this case, it's a very much shorter content and very concise, but really powerful. And it passes the test with flying colours. You'll notice it's not a wall of text, it's easier to read. And this is one of the real secrets of ZeroDrift, especially in the rewriter. It will actually break up the text so it's far easier to read for the people that are reading it. Anyway, you can see quite clearly it's far more compelling, more engaging, and that's not the full reason that it passes the test, but it's a good reason in the case of your existing clients or people that you're trying to prospect. So now I asked it to extend it. Of course, that passed the test with flying colours. Now we get an extended version. Again, it's not walls of text. It's still easy to read. It's fluent and grabs their attention and keeps the flow. So as you can see, it's quite a lot more in depth, and it just explains slightly more rather than being concise. So we ran this one through too, and of course that passed the test again with flying colours. The point is that whatever the length of text, it will still pass, because the protocols that are underlying ZeroDrift, Untraceable, is consistent. It will work on every occasion and with any kind of text. And the best part is you can upload any type of text and it will choose what text, or suggest what text you should use in the final output. So that's a great plus. I mean, you don't get that with any other tool. You might get them just doing generic replacement or just trying to get past the patterns and all of that. But in this case, you're actually getting text chosen to suit your audience, and that's a huge benefit. It's not just some slight benefit. We've got 80 styles sitting in the actual app itself, and it will choose from those 80 styles. It includes archetypes also. So I just said this doesn't seem as long, so just a conversational thing. And then, of course, it decides to do a version automatically because it realises that I want it slightly longer. And again, the output is consistent. It really works incredibly well. And so no walls of text, but it's giving far more detail than you get in the first one or the mid one. So I just thought I'd show this because it's a great example of how you can take a text that's completely AI detected, 100% AI, and you run it through ZeroDrift, and you get 3 different versions, and all of those 3 versions pass the test. It's not surprising because there's been a lot of work go into this, and we've tested it thoroughly, and it works with every type of text, because we didn't just go for the text or trying to whisper to the AI to get rid of its watermark. We went to the core and didn't even allow it to write the watermark. This is substantial. This is a huge breakthrough. It's not just some small thing that anybody could come up with. It took a year of work, and it's well worth anything that you want to invest, because the investment is small. It's a lifetime license. And at the moment you're getting a discount, but a lifetime license, you don't have to repay it, or even if you get AI detectors, you've got to pay it every month. This is the solution, and this wipes that whole problem off the map. Google, for instance, they're not supposedly penalising AI content, but Meta AI is, because we see in a lot of occasions it'll say AI info at the top of your posts. So what if that happens on Google? What would happen to your audience if they saw it was AI info? All it is a tag. It doesn't mean it's denied being shown. But once they start tagging it, you'll lose your audience. They'll think, gosh, this is AI. I want to be speaking to a real person. I want real stuff that people are going to be interested in. So the last thing you want is it to be tagged. And the truth is, it could be tagged. So anyway, it goes on, and in this case, I think it's 1,134 words. So it's far more than the first one, which was, I think, 358. But we've got through and had a look at all of this, and I've gone through, and you can see that, again, it's nicely broken up, easy to read. And then it adds some possibilities of how you can use it. And it really is an amazing tool. So here's the test result. It's 100%. This was done on the last output. I did one on the middle one and the first one, and they both passed by 100% also. Now remember, the text that I was originally provided with failed miserably. So now's the time to invest in your future. Think of it as an insurance policy. Google might not be overtly showing text as AI at the moment, but in the future they could. And what would happen then? How much extra work would you have to do then? So invest and see your content secured as completely untraceable.